e nā koutou ki aolo tātou. Tēnei te Hōkai nei taku tapua. Ko te Hōkai nuku, ko te Hōkai rangi, ko te Hōkai ato tūpuna a tānenui ārangi. Kia ora folks, my name is Keri Opai. I'm from Taranaki here on the west coast of the North Island. My iwi, my tribal affiliations are here and throughout the motu, throughout Aotearoa, New Zealand. I was asked to create a term for cerebral palsy in Māori. I've had a little bit of experience with it, created a glossary, I don't know if you can see it here, fading out, called Te Reo where I've worked on some other terms for mental health, disabilities and addictions, like autism, takiwātanga, Williams syndrome, manakiao and things like that. So I was privileged to be asked to create a term that was mana enhancing, strengths-based, not a deficit model. And so I've been working on that for the last year. So this is the little story about how that came about. So very lucky to be asked by Alexandra and other people from the New Zealand Cerebral Palsy Association. And so what I did was I sort of went about talking to people. You can say consulting, but really it's getting to know people, getting to know whānau, getting to know families with cerebral palsy. And I spent a number of months talking to dozens of people, really, clinicians, individuals, Māori and non-Māori, non-Indigenous folk as well as Indigenous folk from Aotearoa here, and just getting to know about cerebral palsy. And I've got a good mate that's got cerebral palsy as well, so catching up with him regularly, and sort of trying to find a common theme or a denominator to sort of work on, to think of a Māori concept for it. And I think I've come up with one. So one of the trainings I had to do in the Māori world was to observe birds and different types of birds and how they would adapt their environment. So it might be a seagull on the sand, might be a little kākāriki bird on the forest floor, or it might be a pūkeko, how they moved in the swamp, or different flights and heights in the sky that birds would take. And the idea was to be as adaptable as the native birds here were. So in whatever environment, you adapt to it. And I found that as I talked to our whānau and the participants and people that I was sort of consulting with, that was the theme that emerged over this sort of year-long process, was that they all had different wants and goals, and they sort of all adapted to their environment differently. So for me, that's encapsulated in the term that I've come up with, Hōkai Nukurangi. Hōkai Nukurangi. So even one of the things I thought about was pronunciation. So thought, oh, that'll be hard to say, but then I thought, hold on, cerebral palsy is quite hard to say for some people as well. So so Hōkai Nukurangi is the term I've come up with. So to traverse the earth and sky in whether it's physically or mentally or spiritually, it's to adapt to your environment and basically to achieve what's important to you. So that was the consistent theme that came up, that everyone had different goals and different things they wanted to achieve. So Hōkai Nukurangi really just means to achieve what's important to you. I hope you find the term palatable and it makes sense to you. It certainly makes sense to us and to the people that we've talked with. They really loved it, and they said thank you for hearing us. So all the best. Ngā mihi, kia ora tātou.
Ngā mihi nui. Thank you so much for your mahi, Keri.